I want to tell you about the lion and the mouse. Once upon a time, the lion was sleeping under a tree. The mouse came out and jumped to the lion body. Roar! I will eat you, lion said. I'm sorry. I will help you one day. Ha 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 ha! What can you do? You are a little mouse. The next day, the lion was trapped and mousy. Then, mouse saved her on the trap with her teeth. And the lion was free. Thank you. You are a little mouse but big helper. Don't worry, because I promise I will help you one day. Then the mouse and the lion was friends. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, my name is Inggris. Today I'm gonna tell you a story about Little Red Riding Hood. Once upon a time, there was a little girl who lived in a village near the forest. Whenever she went out, the little girl wore a red riding cloak. So people in the village called her the Red Riding Hood. One morning, she asked her mother if she would visit her grandmother since it's been a while. That's a good idea, her mother said. So they packed a nice basket for Little Red Riding Hood to take to grandmother. When the basket was ready, the little girl put on her red cloak and kissed her mother goodbye. Remember, go straight to grandma's house. Don't dawdle along the way and please don't talk to strangers. The woods are dangerous. Her mother said, "Don't worry, Mommy. I'll be careful," said Little Red Riding Hood. But when Little Red Riding Hood noticed some lovely flower in the wood, she forgot her promise to her mother. So she picked a few and watched the butterfly flit for a while and listened to the frog croaking and then picked a few more. The Red Riding Hood was enjoying the warm summer day so much that she didn't notice a black shadow approaching out of the forest behind her. The wolf, a little bit out of breath, arrived at Grandma's and knocked at the door. Thank goodness, dear. Come in. I thought something had happened to you in the forest, said Grandma, thinking that the knock was her grandson. The wolf let himself in. Poor Granny didn't have another word to say before the wolf gobbled her up. The wolf let out a satisfied bird and then poked through Granny's wardrobe to find a nightgown that he liked. A few minutes later, Red Riding Hood knocked at the door. The wolf jumped into the bed and put the cover over his nose. "Who is it?" he called in a cackly voice. "It's me, Little Red Riding Hood." "Oh, how lovely. Do come in, my dear, croaked the wolf. When the little Red Riding Hood entered the little cottage, she could scarcely recognize her grandmother. "Grandmother, why is your voice sounds old?" she asked. "Oh, I just have touched a cold," squeaked the wolf, adding a cough at the end to prove the point. "But grandmother, what big ears you have," said Little Red Riding Hood as she edged closer to the bed. "The bed to hear you with, my dear." "But grandmother, what big eyes you have," said Little Red Riding Hood. "The bed to see you with, my dear," replied the wolf. "Grandmother, what big teeth you have," said Little Red Riding Hood as her voice quivering slightly. Almost too late, Little Red Riding Hood to realize the person in the bed, not her grandmother, the hungry wolf. She ran across the room and through the door, shouting, "Help! Help! Wolf!" As loudly as she could. A woodsman who was chopping the logs nearby heard her cry, and he ran towards the cottage as fast as he could. He grabbed the wolf and made him spit out the poor granny, who was a bit frazzled by the whole experience, but still in one piece. There, child, you've learned an important lesson. Thank goodness you shouted out enough for this tiny man to hear you." The woodsman knocked out the wolf and carried him into a deep forest where he wouldn't bother people any longer. The Red Riding Hood and her grandma had a nice lunch and a long chat. That's all. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Kansa Ashifa, and I am going to tell you a story about Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Once upon a time, there was a little girl called Goldilocks. She was playing near the forest until then she saw a pretty little cottage. Ooh, what a pretty little cottage! I wonder who lives here. And then she goes to the door, but no one is there. Then she saw three food. One is an ice cream. This is yummy. But then when she tasted one more, it's kind of too cold. And then she ate the omelette. This is so hot. My tongue is burning. And then she eats the vegetables. And then she said, this vegetables is delicious. And it's just right. And then she eat all of it. Until then, she is really sleepy. So she went upstairs and then she saw three beds. One is, she said, this is really comfy. And then she slept on the second one. But then she said, this one is too hard. And then she slept on the third one. And she said, this feels just right. And then she slept on the bed. But then the three bears came home. But then they feel hungry. So they went to the kitchen. Until then, they surprised. Hey, who ate all of my omelette? And then the mama bear said, and who ate my ice cream? And then the baby bear cried, who ate my vegetables? They searched around, but there's no one there. So Mama Bear go upstairs and check if there's someone there. But then she's surprised. She saw a little girl. So this is the little girl who has been our house. I have to call one of my families. Then Goldilocks wake up. But then she also surprised. The three bears also surprised. So, hey, why are you in our house? You didn't ask us. And then Goldilocks said, I'm sorry. I didn't know this was your house. And then Mama Bear said, it's okay. Next time, you cannot go to someone's house without permission, okay? Okay, I'm sorry. Next time, I won't do that again. Yay, thank you. And that's the end. And this is a lesson. And this is the lesson of my story. Kids, we cannot go to someone's house without permission too. And also, we have, in Islam, we need to say Assalamu alaikum 3 times. If someone didn't answer, then that means no one home. And we have to go home and come back later. And that's the meaning of my story. Well, bye guys. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye.
Once upon a time, in a small village called Tengger, lived a man named Joko Seger with his wife, Roro Anteng. They had been married for years, but sadly, they never had any children. One day, Joko had a vision. He will be given children by the gods if he meditates in a cave. However, there was a lion living inside that cave. The next day, Joko went to the cave and fought the lions. Surprisingly, he won. Later on, he meditated inside that cave. While he was meditating, he heard a voice.
Joko, the gods have agreed to give you many children under one condition. You will have 25 children in total, but once all of them become adults, you have to sacrifice one of them.
Joko was very excited to tell his wife about this. He was happy that they will have 25 children, so sacrificing one wouldn't be such a big deal, right? At least that's what he thinks. As he went home, he told his wife about the deal and all the things that happened inside that cave. His wife was not happy about it, but then again, there wasn't much she can do since Joko has made a deal with the gods. Soon after, Roro Anteng was pregnant. They had a baby. They were both so happy. Their first baby were followed by the other babies. Sometimes she would have twins, and sometimes she would even have triplets. And soon, they all have 25 children in total. Years went by, and all the kids were adults.
One day, Joko had a dream. There was a voice, a familiar voice. Joko, remember your promise. I want you to take one of your children to the crate of Bromo Mountain and sacrifice your child there. If you don't keep your promise, the volcano will erupt and destroy everything.
Later on, Joko told his children about the dream and the promise. His children were mortified. Of course, no one wanted to die. One of them were saying, "Oh no, Father, please, I don't want to die." And the other one was saying, "Me too, Father. I promise I will do all my chores and help you and be kind to everybody else. Just don't choose me." Now, Joko could have taken advantage of that, but he didn't. He was a good father. It was hard for him to choose because he loved all of his children very much, and he couldn't bear to sacrifice any of them. But then a hand was raised. It was Kasuma, the youngest child. "I will do it, Father. I love our family and everybody here, and I'm willing to sacrifice my life for all of you. But please, commemorate my sacrifice. Every year, please hold a ceremony to remember my sacrifice and provide offerings to the crater of Bromo Mountain." It was hard for Joko to accept this. Kasuma was a very good child. She was always so kind and helpful towards others. She was loved by everyone in the village. And of course, it was hard for them to lose her, but they were also very thankful of her. Because of Kasuma, the place was safe from the eruption of Bromo Mountain. Until now, every once a year, the people of Tengger always hold a ceremony to commemorate Kasuma's sacrifice, and they would bring offerings to the crater of Bromo Mountain.